Hey, y'all, I'm a part of a bunch of groups out there with lawn and garden, obviously. One of the things that I see a lot of people talking about, and they're just not having an understanding of what's going on with fertilizers. And that is the NP and K on the bag, more particularly the N, the first number, also known as nitrogen. I see a lot of people making mention that they put a high nitrogen fertilizer on there. They're searching for some, let's say 4600, which is a real probably, in or either a 2100 is that ammonium sulfate, all nitrogen. Well, I want you to know that there's no such thing as a high nitrogen fertilizers. There's no such thing as high nitrogen fertilizers. You either get more or less. Say, for instance, you have a bottle of Tylenol, you can get the big 400 count bottle, or you can get the 200 count bottle of Tylenol. It's the same product. It's just Tylenol off in the bag. You either got more or less. That's it. That's how fertilizer is. It's not a high nitrogen fertilizer. You just have more. 4600, you just have more nitrogen. It's not high nitrogen. You have more nitrogen. And put this in perspective, it's like buying a bottle of bleach, buying bleach. So we all know you get your bleach and you put it in the washing machine to wash your clothes with. If you put too much bleach in there, you know you're going to have some adverse effects, fading of the clothes or bleaching your clothes because you're putting too much. If you buy a big bottle of bleach over a small bottle, you're still going to put the same amount that's recommended for the washing. You're still going to put the same amount. You're still going to put whatever that amount is. You're still going to put that small amount, whether it came out the big bottle or the little bottle. You're still going to use the same amount. You understand that? You're not getting a high bleach product. It's only more bleach in there. So that's the way fertilizer is. And that's the big problem that everybody have with their lawn is how they're applying the fertilizers. You're going to get a 4600 and putting it out at the same rate as you do a 1640 or 1600 or whatever the case may be. You're still putting all that on there, but you're just putting more out. That's the whole problem with that you're having. It's causing it's causing the fungus, causing the insect problem that you have. It's causing the thatch problem that you have. One has a CEC, and that's called cation exchange capacity. This is basically how much your soil can hold, how much nutrients your soil can hold. Well, the thing about it is the more sand you have, the less nutrients it can hold. And the more clay you have, the more nutrients you can hold. For example, if you go to the beach and you see no grass at the beach, it's the reason why there's no grass at the beach is because the sand can't hold the nutrients long enough for the grass to get it. Because it's a lot of cation exchange stuff happening to allow the grass to receive the nutrients. But it can't stay in the soil, in the sand long enough. It can't stay in the sand. So the beach don't have grass. That's why. And then on the flip side, when you got clay, a lot of clay, the sand, when you got a lot of clay in the lawn or in the soil, when you got a lot of clay in the soil, it can hold a lot of nutrients. Of course, you got grass. But too much clay, we already know it gets hard and compacted and this, that, and the other. So you really want a mixture. That's why a lot of people you ever heard of a sandy loam? That's basically, you want a clay soil with some sand in it so you can have a nice balance where you get some good drainage and you can maintain and hold some nutrients. So that's how it is. That's what's going on. So we are over fertilizing our yards because we don't understand what's going on. So a yard, you're supposed to put out, I'll say a maximum like a 1 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. That's like at the max. And that's because the grass can only hold so much. So like when you filling a cup up and you fill a cup up and it starts to overflow, all that overflow, where's the overflow? It's spilling over. Well, that's what's happening to your lawn and the fertilizer that you put in. You putting all the fertilizer on there. It's filling it up. It can't hold anymore. So it runs off into the waterways or evaporates up in the air. None of your grass ever gets to see all of that. You can't put fertilizer out and then say, oh, I'm just putting it all out right now. And then as the grass grows, it's going to be there for it to use. No, it don't work like that. Fertilizer will evaporate in the air and it will run off. It doesn't stay in the soil. Just like the sand, when you pour water on the sand, you see how that water just sucks up through the sand and goes on. Well, your fertilizer is doing the same thing. So the big issue with fertilizers is that nobody's putting it down correctly. Nobody's measuring. Like, if you don't weigh your fertilizer, if you don't weigh it, you're already putting it down wrong. You can't get one of these spreaders here and expect it to be correct when you put it off in there and you put the dial on it and it spreads so much. Everybody has different walking pace, different strides, and every machine is different. It's not putting out the correct amount. So the big deal about it is you have to learn about the fertilizers, learn how to properly apply it to get good use out of it. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to get the issues that you're having. Believe it or not, the fertilizer is calling a lot of your thatch, a lot of your fungus, a lot of the grubs, all of that. Yes, grubs too. Fertilizers can cause you to have a lot of insects on there. So it is what it is. You got to follow me for more. Talk to y'all in the next video.